Hello and welcome to another behind the scenes for our Transfigured Night series. We started this last year and we get to continue this year. We're starting out our 21st season and we had our first evensong about a week ago, and this upcoming Monday night, September 29th, we have the first of four Art Music Mondays. I'm joined today with Gayane, who serves as cellist and artistic director for these great Art Music Monday concerts, here to tell us a little bit more about what you'll get to hear on Monday. Gayane, welcome. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you. Well, it's delightful to talk to you again, and I'm very excited about our concert on Monday. It's at 7:30, and this will be our 56th concert. It's the opening of our 15th season, and it's all gone really quickly, and I'm just amazed. And we're starting off with two duos. The first duo is by Mozart for two cellos, and it was originally written as a bassoon and cello duet, and it was commissioned, let me think, in, I don't have that date in my brain, but it was when Mozart was 19 years old, so that would have been like in the 1770s. It was commissioned by a very, very wealthy baron who was also a virtuoso bassoonist. And it's three movements. It's just a lovely piece. And Mozart didn't actually write very much for the cello. The main thing that he contributed to our repertoire is the last six string quartets, which have virtuoso cello parts. But he didn't write a sonata or a concerto or anything like that. So we're just taking this on as a two cello duet, which is done before. We're not alone here.
I
And
love
then
it.
the other piece is a duo. It's actually Sonata in C major by Prokofiev for two violins. And that piece is interesting. And I didn't know this about Prokofiev, but he was born in 1891, and the Soviet Union allowed him to leave in the 20s to pursue his composing. And so he actually lived in the United States and in Germany and in France. And when he was living in France, his piece was commissioned by a Parisian chamber music group. And it's just luscious, beautiful music. It's kind of, it's modern, but it's kind of romantic. It's just, I think people will really love it. It's just beautiful. And then intermission, and then we'll play the string quintet by Glazunov, which is interesting too, in that he was a mentor to Prokofiev and helped him get his first symphony published. And for people who don't know Glazunov, he was a major composer. He wrote 8 symphonies, 5 concertos, 3 ballets, 8 string quartets, millions of piano pieces and vocal pieces. And then he wrote this cello quintet. And what's interesting about Glazunov was he was the head of the St. Petersburg Conservatory, but they let him leave in the 20s. And so he went to France and decided never to go back. So this piece is a really happy Russian piece. So much Russian music in the 20th century is dark and, dealing with really difficult issues and stuff. But this piece is just, it's Russian, but it's very happy and extremely romantic and sonorous, and it's really thick. He could have made it actually a sextet or a octet, because I'm playing first cello in the Mozart and I'm playing second cello in this, and I have to play double stops and triple stops almost the whole time. So
Oh my
he
gosh.
could have added another voice to lighten my burden, but he did not. But
You're
it's
getting your
okay. It's
workout instead.
Yes, I'm getting a workout. So, but it's a great pleasure to play with my colleagues, and we've had 2 rehearsals already, and we're just having a blast.
Good, good. So wait, were Prokofiev and Glazunov in Paris, in France, then at the same time?
That I'm not sure. Um, I don't know. I think, yeah, probably, because he Glazunov was there in the 28. He left, and Prokofiev was there. And incidentally, he composed the duo for 2 violins while in Saint Tropez. So he must have been having a pretty good time in France.
The
Anyway, they
Russians
must have
do
been,
France and live it up.
he must have been there around the same time. Because of the Depression, nobody was commissioning composers, and so he found it difficult to make a living. So he went back to Russia in the 30s, Prokofiev, that is. But Glazunov stayed in France until the end of his life. He died in 1936.
Okay. Well,
So, what was your question?
I just wondered then if
Oh
they
yeah,
they
that
overlapped. It was in.
they probably did. They probably did. Um, Prokofiev moved around. He lived in the U.S. and in Germany and in France, but I bet they did because they knew each other.
Yeah.
So they must have met up.
So how does small ensemble work change when you're working just as a duo? And then, you've done trio work, you've done quartet stuff. It sounds like this is the third time you've done a string quintet as opposed to a piano quintet. So five string players as opposed to a string quartet plus piano for the quintet. How does that change in terms of how the ensemble connects and how you go about that process?
Well, it's much simpler to do a duo. I never knew this piece existed until last year, and so it was new to me. And it's really helpful when you're really good friends with the person you're playing with, because you know each other's idiosyncrasies and strengths, and you get along. So Craig and I are really having an enjoyable time putting it together. And um, with the larger group like this, nobody had known this Glazunov before. It's been relatively unknown in the repertoire, and somebody told me about it last year. So I investigated and I listened to it and I found the music, and it's very complicated. It changes tempo a lot, and I had to really study the score and listen to many recordings and just get to learn it. So in that, there's a lot more prep work in learning the other people's part. Whereas in the duo, we're playing off each score with both our parts in it, so I can follow his part while I'm playing my part. And it's simpler, but there's more room for personal expression because there's just two of you. So you can say, I want to take some time here. And, oh, okay.
Okay.
Or no, I don't think you should do that. And it's like, okay, I want that. And it's simpler to do a duo, but it's very dependent on really liking the person you're playing with.
Well, you've always brought such wonderful people, and I know that you always get to work with people that you really enjoy working with as well, and
Yes.
that's always comes through as an audience member listening. No, you can sense the how we connect as people and humans. I always believe showcases in the music as well in that process. So that's wonderful that you get to do that.
I feel so lucky that I get to choose who plays because, the ones that just keep coming back and coming back, we get along so well and they play so beautifully. They're all very, very strong, important musical members of our community, of the symphonies and teachers. And so it's been a pleasure. And
That's so
I'm so thrilled that art music exists, and the Church of the Transfiguration has just been wonderful. So it's very gratifying. And to see our audiences grow every year with not a whole lot of publicity, no paid ads or anything like that. And it's just very, very gratifying.
well. I think the
So
experience
I'm on
of
cloud nine here.
Good, good. I certainly think the experience of being able to be in that space, the performance hall at the church, and just the exceptional quality that you all bring and the commitment to the music, again, that connection you have with each other, I think it just makes for such a special experience all around. And so I'm certainly thrilled that it's continuing 15 plus years now. And the thing that I
Yeah.
think is always amazing is it sounds like you very rarely, if maybe ever, save for one or two pieces, have repeated a piece of music in 56 concerts.
Yeah, it's getting hard. It's getting hard to. We've repeated a couple. Actually, I believe the Prokofiev was done 10 or 12 years ago,
Okay,
but people aren't going to remember, hopefully.
sure.
And some pieces are just so important that they deserve another try. Or someone will say, "Oh, please, please, I've always wanted to play this piece. Can we do such and such?" And it's like, okay, you got to keep people happy,
Sure,
and
sure.
it's it's hard to put everything together all in the space of a month, all the 4 concerts with all the people and all the repertoire and everything, but it's very gratifying and
Good,
fun. So
good.
I'm just thrilled.
Well, I'm
And I
so
have to
looking
say
forward to it.
too, everybody loves playing in the performance hall because the acoustics are so good and it's a really nice, intimate setting. And
Yeah.
we can feel, we feel close to the audience and
Yeah.
it's just great.
It's really, you can go to a symphony hall and even hear small ensembles play in a large venue, but I do think that there's something really special about being able to be that close in the performance hall. There's an added level of connection, intimacy with the entire experience, and getting to speak with you all, before or after, during intermission, even, and the reception that happens. It just the entire evening makes for a really beautiful experience. And so I'm not sure how all
Oh,
of that has
thanks.
been curated over the years, but
Well,
it's such a
you know,
highlight.
this music was the music we play was intended to be played in a hall that size for about that many people. It wasn't meant to be played in a gigantic hall for thousands of people. It was meant to be in a salon in a palace or a mansion. It wasn't meant to be where you have to belt it out and project like crazy because there's 6,000 people there. It's not that kind of music. It's intimate music. So that's why that room is so perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. How great. So we get to hear it in our own palace, as it were. That's
Yes.
perfect. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about the concert on Monday?
Um, no, just to tell people to come and bring their friends. It's free. So just bring people, introduce them to beautiful music that they might not ever hear. And also, David Reese does a beautiful job with all the delicious pastries he makes for intermission. They shouldn't miss that either. So, and the volunteers add so much too. They're so welcoming, and it's just such a nice group of people
Yeah.
that I wish I could just hang out and talk to everybody during intermission too. But I got to get ready to play the next piece.
Well, and we always look forward to the second half as well. So what a multi-sensory experience. We get beautiful music to listen to, the visuals of being in that space, and even gustatory with delicious treats at intermission.
Yeah.
It's nothing quite like it. So thank you so much for your time today. Monday, September 29th, 7:30 at the Performance Hall at the Church of the Transfiguration. You won't want to miss it. Thank you, everyone,
Great.
and we will see you on Monday. Thanks, Gayane.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.